And I'm Parth and I'm a student at IIT Bhilai. And welcome to the workshop in which I will be showing you how using the voice apps training offered by Volt IoT. So let's move to the overview of the workshop. We will first be looking at a demo of the final app so that we know what are we trying to achieve. Then this will be followed by a flowchart of the app, which will basically show how the control flows from one block to another. You'll see that soon. And then I'll walk you through the details of the app briefly. And if time permits, we will also try to do some hands-on. And then that will be followed by details on the voice apps. And then we will have the questions and answers. So meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can hold, we will address all of them at the end of the workshop. So let's go ahead. So this is the video. It is also available on YouTube. So I'll copy this link to these chat box for your convenience. I'll pay it here as well.
Hi Parth, sorry to interrupt you, but the audio is not coming from the video that you are playing.
Okay.
So what you can do is you can click the share the audio also while you're presenting. That will help.
And there is that option.
Or try to translate them to. Okay, hi, I am Parth Khandinath. I am currently pursuing BTech in Computer Science at IIT Bhilai. And in this video, I'll be showing you a voice-driven app which I developed as a part of Bolt IoT's voice apps training plus internship. So basically, when I was in 7 to 8 standard, I used to read a lot of English news articles and English novels. And whenever I used to come across new English words, I would look for them in the dictionary or try to translate them to Hindi. And if found useful, I would note them down in a copy. So motivated by the same intention, I've tried to develop a voice app. Let's have a look at it. So as you can see, the notebook is empty currently. Talk to my English mentor.
Okay, here's the test version of my English mentor.
Hey, I am here to save your day. Need help with translating or knowing more about a word?
Knowing more about a word.
Okay, what's the word?
Fanatic.
As a noun, fanatic could mean a person who is zealously enthusiastic for some cause, especially in religion. Should I repeat?
Yes.
As a noun, fanatic could mean a person who is zealously enthusiastic for some cause, especially in religion. Should I repeat?
No.
Would you like to note this for future reference?
Yes.
Okay, noted. Need more help?
Yes.
What is it? Translating or knowing more about a word?
Translating.
What do you want to translate?
Hello.
Okay, to which language? Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, Spanish, French, Bengali, Tamil, or Gujarati?
Hindi.
Here is the translated text. Need more help?
Yes.
Need
Translating.
What do you want?
Hello.
Okay, to which language? Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, Spanish, French, Bengali, Tamil, or Gujarati?
French.
Here is the translated text. Need more help? Okay. Take care.
So that was it. And this is the notebook, and our word has been noted in it.
Okay, so that is the video. I guess it was not audible to some of you. So just go to YouTube and search for English Mentor Voice App. You'll find it easily. It's on YouTube. Now we will move to the brief flow chart of the app. This shows how things are working. So first of all, we start with the app. Then the app asks us whether we want to translate or we want to know more about a word, as you must see in the video as well. So in case you say that you want to know more, then the app asks you that what word is it about which you want to know more. Then you tell it the word, and then it does some processing, and then it gives you the output. And after getting the output, as you must have seen, it asks whether it should repeat or not. If you say yes, it tells you the output again. If you say no, it moves ahead. Now the next step is it asks you whether you want to note this down, because we tend to forget things. So this is a very useful thing. That Evernote is actually a note making app. So my voice app is integrated with that note making app, Evernote. And if you say yes, then the relevant processing is done, and the meaning and the word and what part of speech is it, every detail is noted down in the Evernote app. If you say no, it directly moves to this block. Otherwise, in case of yes, it first does the processing, then it moves to this block. In this block, it asks you whether you need more help or not. If you say yes, it moves back here and asks you whether you need to translate or no more. If you say no, this is where the app ends. Now over here, if you had said translate, so it would have asked you that what do you want to translate? That is, what is the word or what is the text which you want in another language? Then when we tell it what we want to translate, and then it asks us translate to which language. There are basically options. Those languages you have to choose one, and then the relevant processing is done and the output is displayed, as you must have seen in the video. And after displaying the output, it again asks you whether you need more help or not. If you say no, the app ends there. If you say yes, it moves back here. So that is the flow chart about the app. And now we will move to the details of the app, and also I'll show you voice phone. So this is the website at which I created the project. So voice flow, you can type it. Just a minute. You can type it on internet like voice flow, and you can create free account on this website. This is the first link. The first link itself is the one which you can create a free account. The limitation in a free account is that you can have at most 2 projects simultaneously. So you'll have to delete one if you want to create a third. So this is how the voice flow website looks, and this is where the projects are made. So I'm opening my project. And as I had said, keep your doubts on hold, we'll address them at the end. So this is a prototype of my app. It might look very confusing and a lot complex now, but it's okay. I'll walk you through it in detail. So these are what we call blocks. Each block has a special function to do. There are various kinds of blocks we have, and here are the types: speak block, audio block, card block, stream block. I'll explain you everything. So as we had seen the flow chart, the app starts. So we have the start block over here, which is present there already by default. And then this is the arrow which tells you that what is the next block we are moving to. And the next block here is this block, initial greeting. So this is what the app says when it is greeting you when the app is started. So hi, your English mentor is here to help you. So you can basically put anything over here. If I want to put hello instead of hi, so you can speak hello. This is how you edit it, and they. So this is the initial greeting. After the initial greeting, you can see this arrow is going where it is moving to this block. This block. So this is the title of the block. You can use it as a hint to the function of the block. Now the app will ask that whether you need help with translating or knowing more about the word. And from this we move to, so let's see where the arrow takes us. It takes us to this block. Now this block is called a choice block. Now what is a choice block? Is use to choose one out of two or more options, and then the this choice block is used. So this what this choice block does is it detects what the user has said and matches it with one or two options and see which option the user has chosen, and then each option has its own different path. Like no more has this arrow, and translate has this arrow. Okay, so we are looking at the blocks over here. So as you saw, the prototype of the project is made up of blocks. There are different types of blocks: speed block, card block, choice block, capture, API, custom code, and the blocks which are used in my project. Now, what does this block do? It simply speaks what you type in it. Like this is a speaker. Its only functions to speak what you type over here. Then we have choice block. Choice block usually comes after the user has been offered a choice. like yes or no, or translate or no more. So this is the choice block. We had asked the user that what do you want to do? You want to translate or you want to know more about a word? And then we come over here to a choice block. If the user says no more, then this path is followed. If the user says I want to translate, then this path is followed. Let's move ahead. Uh, this arrow takes us, suppose the user says that I want to know more about a word. So this is the arrow which will be followed. Since this is coming out of this choice of no more, so this arrow takes us to this block. Now this block is actually a merged block of a speak block and a capture block. I'll tell you what it is. So since the user has said that I want to know more about a word, this is a speak block and it is asking the user, okay, what is the word? Yani ki, what is the word you want to know more about? Then after this, the control goes to the capture block. Now what does the capture block do? The capture block is used mainly to record and store users' reply in a variable. So choice block does what? It just detects what the user said and matches to the given options and follows the path which is there for a particular option. But what the capture block does is it listens to the user's reply and stores it in a variable because we will be using it in future. So that is capture block. So here when the user tells that what is the word which about which he wants to know more, that is captured in which variable? This is the variable written within curly brackets. So how you distinguish between the name of a variable and simple text is name of variables is written within curly brackets. So this is how a capture block works. So the entire user reply is stored in the variable word. This is the name of the variable which are chosen word. I can keep it anything, like I can use it WD as well. So it's completely up to you. Variable names are written inside curly braces. Now, after the user's reply has been stored in the variable word, we move to this new block, which is API block. Now, what does this API block do is, what exactly is an API first of all? So API is the short form of application programming interface, and it is like a messenger which helps in exchange of data between two applications. And why do we need an API is because one application cannot do everything. Hence, it asks for help from another application. So how do they ask help? That wants help from app number two. So app number one tells the API that you go to app number two and then you ask for this particular thing. You ask for this particular thing from app two. This is what it tells the API. API takes this data to app two, then app two does the thing which it is supposed to do, and then it returns the relevant data. Then API takes that data from app two and gives it to app one. So API is basically like a messenger used for exchange of data between two applications. It is needed because one application cannot do everything. Hence, it asks for help from another application. Here in our voice app, our app is not a dictionary. It does not contain a dictionary. That's why our app, with the help of this API, will fetch the meaning of the word, the details of the word you want from a dictionary app using API. This is the API. Now, using the API, you make requests like get request, post request. For now, just you can ignore these minor details. You will get to know more about this in the training itself. There are two kinds of requests: get request, post request, and when you make a request for doing something to a certain app, then you have to use a URL which is specific to data. Now, which app did I use is over here. This is a free dictionary API. And this is the URL which I used. So basically, whatever is the word about which you want to know more, you have to put it over here. So if here is an example, if you want to know more about hello, so this word got replaced by hello. And this is the entire URL. So coming back to voice flow, you can see the same URL is over here. And at the end of the URL, I have my word, which contains the word I want to know more about. So at the end of the URL, as we want, the word about which we want to know more is appended at the end of the URL. So when this URL goes to the free dictionary API, the dictionary knows about which word it has to send the details, and then it sends the details back to the app. And when it does so, I have stored its response, parts of its response in these variables. These are again names of variables like part of speech and definition. We will, I can show you an example of response. Like I want to know about what is the meaning of elephants. So this is how the response is received. Again, don't get panicked or worried. All these things will be taught in much more detail. You just have to understand it very lightly. This is how the response is received. The word was elephant. And we move to the meaning section. Here is the definition: a mammal of the order Proboscidea, having a trunk and two large ivory tusks jutting from the upper jaw. So I use this definition, and this is the part of speech. Noun. I stored them. This is it. Noun, I stored it to the variable part of speech, and the definition, which was received as a response, I stored it to the variable definition. Okay, noun was put to the variable part of speech, and the definition, which was received as a response, was put to the variable definition. So I hope things are clear till now. Now what we have done is to know more about using API. Voice app has fetched the details of the word from the free dictionary API, and it has stored all the details in part of speech variable and definition variable. Now we want to show this to the user. Like the API was part of the processing, and now we will now move to output. The free dictionary API's link is over here. I'll paste it in the chat box. So that was it, the link. And now that we have the details of the word, we will now move to this block. What does this block do? This block does the output part. So this is a speak block, as you can see from the icon. All speak blocks have this icon. So this simply speaks out what you've written in it. So as a, and this is the variable part of speech. Now since for elephant, our part of speech was noun. So it will say as a noun. Now word variable, what was our word? It was elephant. So it will say as a noun, elephant could mean, and then here comes the definition that a mammal with two tusks, etc. So this reply would be, in the case of elephant, as a noun, elephant could mean a mammal with tusks. And then after saying this, it asks you, should I repeat? Okay, now again, the user has been offered a choice because the user can either say yes or say no. So what is the block we use in when the user has been offered a choice? We use choice block. So here comes the choice block. Look, the arrow is coming over here. This block. So this is the choice block. So if the user says yes, yes, repeat. So you get back over here to the same block of output. But if the user does not say yes, then this is the block which we move. And in this block, the user is asked that do you want to note these details. As you can see in the flow chart as well. After asking whether you want to repeat or no, so when he says no, then you have to ask that whether you want to note it or not. So depending on yes or no, the future part depends. So again, after asking whether you want to note this or not, again the user has been offered a choice, hence we will have a choice block. If the user says yes, we move over here. If he says no, we move over here, where we ask him if you want more help. Let's suppose that the user says yes, I want to note this. So this is the block which we move to. And again, as you might have identified, this is the API block. So in this API block, the type of request we are using is post request. Just for now, just don't go to the details. I'm just telling you so that you remain aware. And these are the things which are sent as a part of the request. And these are the parts of information which are sent to the app number 2, which will be offering help to the voice app. Now, why do we need this app number 2? We need this app number 2 to note all the details we have fetched in the Evernote note making app. Now, what is this app number 2? Let's have a look at it. This make app, it was also known as Integromat initially, but now it is make. You can search it like that. Or maybe adding Integromat. Yeah. There it is. This is it. So what Integromat does is Integromat is useful for automating processes. That is Integromat is a platform that is used for automation. Helpful when we want automatic action or response. So what we want is whenever the user says that yes, I want to note this, then that the details should be automatically noted to the Evernote app. So this part is handled by the Make app or the Integromat app, and we are asking for help, Integromats or Makes help using an API. So this is what Integromat specializes in generating automatic action or response. So in Integromat, you can gain access to various other apps. This is basically the setup for doing the automatic tasks. This is the webhook URL. This is the part of the app which receives the request of my voice app, and then it processes that data and sends it to my Evernote app. This is it, Evernote. So you will get more into the details of it in the training. For now, I've just given you an overview that the Integromat or the Make helps us in noting down the details of the word in our Evernote app, which will be in our phone. So this is the part of the make app which receives the info and then it sends it to Evernote. Like you can see, this is its function, append content to a note. So it appends the content we sent. So that was what did we do just now? We just completed this processing part. Now we will move to this part. Excuse me for a minute. Okay, so when it is done, the API again has two parts to follow. Whenever it is a success and if the processing was done successfully, so it moves over here. If it is a failure, the app ends then and there. So if it moves ahead, if everything has happened successfully, it speaks, okay, noted. This is a speak block. It says that yes, it has been noted. So if you don't get this thing, okay, noted, that means the API failed and there has been some technical failure in between. Now, like you can see, this arrow takes us to this block, asking for more. Here, the app asks us whether we need more help. Now, again, the user has been offered a choice. So we move to a choice block. Yes or not yes. So if you say yes, this arrow is what we have to follow. If you say no, this arrow is what we have to follow. And it says goodbye to you. Okay, bye. Speak block. This is a speak block. It says okay, bye. If you say yes, that I need more help, there are more things to do. So this is the arrow which you follow. It takes you this block. It is asking for what to do. Translate or more about a word. You want to know more about the word or you want to translate. As you can see over here as well. It asks you whether you need more help. If you say yes, it moves to this block. If it says no, the app ends then and there. Now, we just explored this left-hand side section, which was knowing more about a word. Okay, I hope it was clear till now. If any doubts, I will address them at the end of the session. So we have explored this left-hand side, and now we will see about translation, which is the right-hand side of the flowchart. So over here, when the app asks that, what do you need to do? Translate or know more about the word. So we move to this choice block because because the user has been offered a choice. We had previously followed this path of no more, but this time we will be following this path, which is followed when the user says that I want to translate something. So this is the path which is followed, and it takes you to this block. And what does this block do? It asks you what to translate. So this is what the block speaks. This is a speak block. It asks you, what do you want to translate? So after this, you again move to a capture block because whatever the user is speaking, we want to capture that and put it inside a variable. So what we will use a capture block. We will not use a choice block here because we have not offered choices to the user. He does not have choices to pick up from. No, it can be something entirely different and we will be storing it in a variable, which we will be using in future to translate. So that's why we will use capture block over here. And the entire user reply is stored in the variable Q. As you can see, Q is the name of the variable. It is within curly braces. So we know what do we want to translate. It is inside the variable Q. And then the app asks that to which language do you want to translate this? Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, Spanish, French, Bengali, Tamil, or Gujarati. Now, this time, what we do is we capture the user reply. Now, why do we do that is I'll explain it to you. We capture the user reply inside the target, and target in the target variable we have put what language the user wants the text to be converted to, and then we move to this API block. Because why do we need the API block? Because again, for translation, the voice app is not able to make the translation, so it will take help of another app. We will see what is that another app, but we need the API block over here because the voice app cannot do translation. It will need the help of another app which is good in translating. So here comes the API block. Oh, this is actually custom code block. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, this is a new kind of block, custom code block. Custom code block contains a code which is run when the execution reaches the block. We have to write the code in JavaScript. So I hope you might be knowing a little bit of coding. So this is what is written in JavaScript. So what we just don't get bothered about all these things. You will learn about it in more detail in the voice of trading. So what we do here is we now have the target language stored in the variable target. We have to now convert it to a code. Every language has a code. The code, as you can see over here. Hindi has the code HI, Marathi has the code MR, Urdu has the code UR, Spanish has the code ES, and so on. Now, why do we need to convert language to language codes? So we need to convert language to language codes because that is how the app 2, which we will be asking for help for translation, that is how app 2 understands the data. App 2 does not understand Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, Spanish. It understands HI, MR, UR, ES. So for that purpose, we are changing the language to language code over here. So you can see if the target is the variable in which we have stored our target language. You can see over here. If it is equal to Hindi, the target code is equal to HI. If it is Marathi, it is put equal to MR. If it is Urdu, it is put equal to ER, and so on. So now we have converted language to language code. Now let's move to what? This is an API block design. This was a custom code block which just runs a code, and over here we have the API block. Now we have converted language to language code. So now we will ask for help to app number 2. Now our app number 2 is going to be a Google Translate API. So where did I get this Google Translate API is over here. So this is a site called Rapid API. It is basically a hub of all the APIs. You can see you have Google Translate, you have Weather API, Preview Point, etc., etc. It contains both free and paid APIs. So you basically just have to make one account in Rapid API, then you get access to all these APIs. You will get into more of these details in the training. So this is where I went and I got access to the Google Translate API over here. So I took help of Google Translate for the translation purpose over here. So after the processing part is done, that means the translation is done in this block. Then we move to the speak block, which speaks. Here is the translated text, and after speaking this, it moves to this block, and this is a new kind of block. This is card block. So what does the card block do? Card block is another way of displaying the output. It just shows the output in a beautiful way, as you would have seen in the demo video as well. If you missed it somehow, you can check it out on YouTube as well. So card block is just for displaying the output. So this is what we have displayed, the translated text. This is the title of the card which will be displayed, and here is the card text. It is the variable translated in which we stored our translated text. Now, after you have shown the translated text, we follow this arrow, and this arrow takes us to this block again, which asks for whether you need more help or not. If you say yes, then again you move away to this block when it asks you whether you want help with translating or knowing more about a word. And if you say no, then you move to this block where it says okay, bye. So we went over the project flow chart, and here is a special block which in case of failures, all the arrows come over here. Like this is the API block. If it fails, then this is the arrow. We move to this block, error handling. That is the function of this block. It says, sorry, something went wrong. Here. Back to the initial block where you have been asked by the app again whether you want to translate or no. So every error, if you encounter an error, you come over here. The app says, sorry, something went wrong. Please try again. And it starts again from the beginning. This block. This is the error handling block. All the errors of various blocks lead to this block. So you can also color the arrow with different colors so as to distinguish. I have marked all the arrows which come out of errors as red, just to distinguish them. This feature is also available on voice mode. There are various features, you will come across them in the training. So we quickly went over the detail, not very deep details, but just brief details of the project. And as we still have some time left, so I can show you some blocks, etc. How do we put them and how do we connect others, etc. Like this is another project which I will delete this because you can in the free version you can have at most 2 projects. I will create a new project. Voice assistant. Again, these things will be taught to you. Don't bother. Voice flow, language, English. So the start block is present there by default. You move it like this. If you want to test your app, you can start right from this block. You can press this play button. Okay, so since it has got nothing to speak yet, it will not be complete. Then let's put a speak block which says hello, how are you? So you drag and drop the speak block over here. Now I will put what I want to say over here. Hello. How are you? And then connect this arrow so that after starting the app visits this block. This is a speak block. It will just speak what I put inside. So let's start it.
Hello,
So
how
you
are
heard
you?
that the control moved from the start block to the new block one, and it did what it is supposed to do. The speak block is supposed to speak, so it spoke what we had written in it. Now after the speak block, let's say we try asking it a question. No, suppose we go for a choice. This is a choice block. Now here I will add a choice. Now again, I will be going through some steps which you might find new, so just don't bother about them. And then I'll again add another choice. So we've added two choices. The app has asked us whether we are good, that how are we. So there are two choices, good or bad. And in case the user's reply does not match any of them, then this no match option is also there. We will come to it. For now, we will add a speed block over here in case it is good. So this is the block to which the control moves if the user's reply is good. So it moves over here. And suppose I want to reply, okay, good to know. And for bad, we will add another speed block. Oh, sorry to know. Okay, so if you say good, it will speak this. If you say bad, it will speak this. Let's test this. We will start a test from here. So I press the button over. Now I'm supposed to give a
Hello,
reply.
how are you?
So when you are testing your app on this voice flow website, then you have the option to either give your reply as a text like this, God over here, or this is the option to give a voice reply. Now, since I'm talking to you as well, so there might be inappropriate replies to the voice app. So I will just give it in the form of text. This is my reply. Good. Now I send it. So it spoke. Okay,
Okay, good to
know.
know.
Now let's try that again. We'll start the test again.
Hello,
This
how
time
are
I will
you?
say that.
Oh,
So
sorry
that's
to
how
know
it
that.
works. And in case we come to no match, in no match also, in case what the user has spoken does not match good or bad, we can add a path over here like this. And now this too has a path. So you can take this arrow to maybe back over here so that the app asks you again that how are you, or spread this out for better clarity. So if it says good, it should speak, okay, good to know. If it says bad, it should speak, oh, sorry to know. And if I say something which does not match good or bad, then it should move over here. So let's test this from the starter.
Hello, how are you?
We've tested good or bad, so I will this time, let's say that I'm hungry. So you
Hello,
saw
how are
it
you?
did what we had instructed it. That's your reply does not match good or bad. It takes you via this arrow back to this block where it asks you, hello, how are you? So basically you're stuck in a loop. You have to say you're either good or bad, till then it will keep asking you, hello, how are you? So since I want to get out of the loop, I say bad. And that's how you
Oh,
get out
sorry
of
to
the
know
loop.
that.
So we also saw how to put some blocks and connect them via arrows, etc. This is the choice block, capture block, set block, and custom code block, API block. there are many things to explore, and these things, if you utilize this training properly, it can be used to make apps which will be very helpful in daily life. Like the app which I have made, my English mentor, it can be suppose and you want to you come across a word and then you tell the app to tell the meaning of that word. And if you want to note it, you can also note it. If you want to translate it to Hindi, because sometimes, or your mother language, because we understand better in our mother language, that also is available. So this is how you can use voice apps to make your daily life easy. Uh, Everything we learn as a part of engineering is, it should be used, in my opinion, to make our daily life easy. So we've also done the details of the app building, and now we'll move to the fourth step, which is details on voice apps training come internship. So Bolt IoT offers this voice apps training, and just a minute. Okay. Okay. So about the Bolt IoT's voice apps training, link to all the courses offered by Bolt IoT's over here. I'll paste it in the chat box. They sometimes also offer you scholarship. You can check the details in the site in the site, and then there's also a refund period. If you don't like the course, you can get 100% refund by applying for a refund. It is completely online, and you get an assured internship after the implementation. So this is a a very good upskilling training which you can complete, I guess, in 15 to 20 days as well. If you if you are willing to give like somewhat like 1 hour per day, you can very easily complete it in 15 to 20 days, and you can score well as well.